On Christmas Eve of 1966, Paddy Roy Bates, a retired British Army major, drove a small boat with an outboard motor 7 miles off the coast of England into the North Sea. He had sneaked out of his house in the middle of the night, inspired with a nutty idea for a perfect gift for his wife, Joan. Using a grappling hook and rope, he clambered onto an abandoned anti-aircraft platform and declared it conquered. He later named it Sealand and deemed it Jones. His gift was no luxury palace. Built in the early 1940s as one of 5 forts that defended the Thames, the HMF, His Majesty's Fort, Ruff's Tower, was a sparse, windswept hulk. Ruff's, as the abandoned platform was popularly called, was little more than a wide deck about the size of 2 tennis courts, set atop 2 hollow concrete towers 60 feet above the ocean. But Roy claimed his brutalist outpost with the utmost gravity, as seriously as Cortez or Vasco da Gama. At the height of World War II, the British military installed open sea fortresses in the mouth of the Thames River. These forts provided anti-aircraft support and deterred German crafts from laying mines in British shipping channels. The Fort Sealand now occupies was designated HM Fort Ruff's, constructed at port. These structures were floated out to sea on hollow pontoons. Once they reached their destination, the pontoons were filled with water, sinking to the seafloor and anchoring the fort in place. The Sealand structure was in operation within 30 minutes of being launched. Soldiers remained in the fort until 1956, when the fort was virtually abandoned by the British. In the face of stringent broadcasting laws, pirate radio stations began operating from international waters. Fort Ruff's was the perfect candidate for a pirate radio station. It was just far away and, most importantly, was free to use. In 1966, pirate radio operator Roy Bates seized the radio tower from another pirate operator. In the ensuing crackdown on pirate broadcasters, Bates's team would defend the station with firearms and bombs. After dodging charges in British courts, he declared the sea fortress to be his own independent country, the Principality of Sealand. By 1975, Sealand had its own flag, currency, national anthem, passports, and government. Bates installed his family as royalty and sells titles online. You could be a duke, countess, or knight of Sealand for a small fee. The Bates family has ended up back in the courts on several occasions, but continues to be largely left alone by the authorities. Though they haven't been officially recognized worldwide, they have been made an exception in the expansion of British territory and from answering to British laws. In 1978, Alexander Achenbach led an invasion of Sealand. He hired a team of mercenaries to storm the platform, taking it by using speedboats, jet skis, and helicopters. They took Bates' son, Prince Michael, hostage, but Michael was able to drive them off. Achenbach was taken prisoner and charged with insurrection. Dutch and German State Departments got involved, and though he was sentenced to a $35,000 fine, he was eventually released. The Sealand rebel government operates to this day in exile, campaigning against the Bates family rule. In 2000, the Principality of Sealand came into the news because a company called Haven Co. Limited planned on operating a complex of internet servers at Sealand out of the reach of governmental control. Haven Co. gave the Bates family $250,000 in stock to lease Ruff's Tower with the option of purchasing Sealand in the future. This transaction was especially satisfying to the Bates, as the maintenance and support of Sealand has been quite expensive over the past 40 years. Everyone who helped defend the nation was inducted into the Sealand Order of Knights, a title you now buy, and was sworn to protect Sealand when called upon. Nowadays, Sealand pops up in the news every once in a while. Rumors have spread about it being sold to internet companies or other would-be kings. But besides the short visit or music video shoot, the island solemnly stands as a steadfast bastion against authority and beacon of independence.